As an emotional health practitioner who used medical medium as part of my recovery from a host of chronic illnesses, I get clients who also follow medical medium. And when I start working with these people, often a lot of emotional issues are coming up around the protocol itself. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't know where to start, then I've made this video for you. It's probably going to be quite a controversial topic, but I only see what I see. But before I really get into the video, I want to say that medical medium is a fabulous protocol. And I don't think that Anthony Williams sets out to share all this wonderful information with us so that people do get anxious and overwhelmed by it. But I've seen some people quit medical medium because of the overwhelm that they felt. So let's get into what it is that people struggle with. There's a lot of worry out there about starting on the wrong thing. What food should I start with? What supplements should I start with? So for me as a vegan, it was a focus on a whole foods diet, basically jamming in as many fruits and vegetables as I could every day and getting out some of the basic no food. And when I first started, I really thought that I had to eat all of the healing foods that he suggested in his books if I was going to get anywhere. And so I stressed a lot about money. I was anxious about getting hold of some of the things. I mean, I live in a cold climate and it was just too much. And I was also worried about how I was going to prepare it all every day. So guys, you don't need to stress. Just treat it like a bit like when you learn to ride a bike or roller skate. You're quite happy just to stay on at the beginning. Then over time you start to be able to go faster and jump off curbs, and sorry, I'm getting into rollerblading metaphors here. But I found it much easier just to start with those basics. It feels a lot less overwhelming if you do. One of the biggest anxieties I see is about getting the right supplements. Take a look any day in any Facebook group that's around medical medium and there's always a question about it. But if you're sitting at home and you've been stuck at home for a couple of years and you're thinking that this is the thing that's going to help you, if you're not able to get hold of a particular supplement that medical medium recommends, you're going to be really feeling like you're not going to heal at all at this point. I can completely relate because I was so desperate to get my health back that I thought I had to do absolutely everything that he recommended in terms of supplements. The more anxious I got about this, the worse my symptoms got. The thing with medical medium, and this is the reason why it's such a gift as well, is that there's always more that you can do. So you can always keep improving and growing. And while the ones he recommends are excellent quality, if you can't get hold of them or you've got a particular budget to follow, just prioritize which ones are the most important to you. I know people who have healed a range of illnesses using as part of their toolkit who at the time couldn't get hold of any of the supplements that were recommended because they weren't available in their country. My situation was the same for probably most of my health recovery. So I'd do things like buy corn-free lysine powder and I'd make my own liposomal vitamin C. And when Vimagee finally came to the UK, I just prioritised what I needed to buy Vimagee and what I could buy in a really high quality supplement from somewhere else. Prioritize what you can and buy the purest supplements that you can. And of course, the ones he recommends are excellent, but don't stress about it if you can't find them or it's too expensive for you. When you start buying supplements, you soon learn what ingredients should and shouldn't be in them. And I definitely pay quite a bit of attention to the no foods list, but also look out for other ingredients that you can't recognize. So I guess the emphasis is really on getting the purest that you can afford. On Facebook, there are many local medical medium groups. Check those out. There's always someone in there who's found a good alternative to something that you can't easily get in your own country. Medical medium books talk a lot about toxins, and for a lot of us it's the first time that we've ever really engaged with the concept of heavy metals, fertilizers and all of these horrible things that are in our environment. And for some people it can be absolutely terrifying. I know myself, when it came to getting rid of some of the toxins in my own home, I felt completely overwhelmed because it felt like everything was toxic. And I started to get this feeling that I wasn't safe in the world. When I smelt perfume and I was out, I was thinking very much about how this was having such a negative impact on my body and would stop me from healing. The thing is, one of the most toxic things for our body is stress. And so worrying all the time about the impact of toxins can be a massive stress. You're always going into that stress response, say every time you smell a perfume. That's just going to make the impact of the perfume much bigger on your body. Do I eat all organic food? And did I eat all organic when I was trying to recover my health? And it was one of those things that used to worry me a lot. I never felt like I was doing enough. So instead of the food I was eating feeling really nourishing and healing, it would be substandard, maybe even toxic, because it wasn't organic. That just wasn't true. In the UK, a lot of the organic food comes from Europe, so it's had to travel quite a bit. Medical Medium even says himself, you don't need to eat all organic if you can't get a hold of it, because fruits and vegetables are so healing that just eating them is better than not eating them because you can't get organic. So organic food for me, just like the supplements, had to be about priorities. I'd always eat organic greens if I can get hold of them. And there are charts out there to help you. So in your country, work out which are the most heavily sprayed crops. And you can also grow your own sprouts. So there's nothing more organic than homegrown sprouts. And just wash it really well. There's plenty of information out there about how best to clean pesticides on the surface of fruits and vegetables. There are so many ways to do it. Just find your own way. But the fear of not doing it properly will paralyze you. When we're empowered and trusting ourselves, we really do make the best choices. But we also realize that if it's not working, we can fix it. It's not a big deal. So before I get into the rest of the video, I have a masterclass talking about how to go from struggling to thriving in chronic illness recovery, and that's going to take you through the steps that you can follow to stop the struggle and get into thriving and actually really owning your health recovery. So I've put the link in the description. I'm really excited about this masterclass. Go check it out. How long did it take before you knew that it was working? We expect things to happen like that. So one of the things I see a lot is people being impatient with themselves when they're following a protocol like Medical Medium. I'm not healing fast enough. That can set you up to think that you've just got to cram in more supplements or eat more superfoods or do more. But actually the key really with any protocol, whether it's Medical Medium or some other one, is patience. Things don't always happen like medicine happens, which is immediate. It masks symptoms, but it doesn't really get to the root cause. You have to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with the protocols you're following. Obviously, keep an eye on your progress, but don't think that you have to go more extreme in order for things to work more quickly. Sometimes just taking a breath and allowing ourselves the space for things to start to work is the best thing. Emotions like fear, guilt, and disappointment are low vibration for our body. So anything you're implementing to recover your health should not be triggering these types of emotions. Medical Medium is a guide. It's there to support you. It's there to inform you. But at the core of it, you need to remember that you're on your own personalized healing journey. You can choose what you do, what information to take on board, what information to ignore, and how you go about the process. And it's ultimately about tailoring it so it works for you. So if you're not feeling so empowered, I want you to watch this video next, because it's really going to tell you how to get empowered in your healing journey, and it's so necessary.